right, welcome back to another Dragon Ball Super card game video. So you saw the title. Been a minute. It's been a very busy last couple months, and if you didn't catch it, we just got finished with the Dragon Ball Battle Hour 2023 in Las Vegas for the Dragon Ball Super card game World Championship 2022 season. Yeah, if you didn't see, I was casting along with Hayden, Espira, George, whatever, Eggman, right, Giancarlo, and Zap, along with everybody who attended, obviously, and as well as the people who were in the backstage. And it was crazy, man. Like, honestly, long story short, if you're not gonna watch the video, because I'm gonna probably ramble on about the event and the things that happened in this video, it was a lot. And you know, I'm super thankful for everything. Shout out to everyone, obviously all my co-casters, casters, etc. Everybody who was behind the scenes. There was a bunch of Japanese people, dude. There's so many like Bandai employees and just like producers on, man. You guys didn't see it in the live stream, but there's a certain person who was in front of us giving cues and just you know, just busting his ass throughout the weekend, especially during rehearsal and stuff like that. But it was really cool. I'm a little disappointed that some people didn't attend, or at least like just hang out. Like Battle Hour, I feel like was like a contribution from Bandai, like a thank you for all three games, like Dragon Ball Super card game, obviously Fighters, and as well as Legends, and putting all those together and putting into a place where everyone can kind of hang out, have a similar interest. I'm not just saying all that stuff. Like, it was really fun. I really do hope they do it next year. I know it was a very expensive event to pull off. A lot of different companies, some organization should have been better, but honestly it was just a lot of moving parts, so it just makes sense. For those who didn't know or don't know what I was talking about at all, so Battle Hour last year was online. It was something similar. It was not part of the World Championship, where the actual World Championship was a double elimination. This was a single elimination without an LCQ, and this LCQ was capped out at 256 players. About 100 of them didn't show up. There were some restrictions due to the venue requiring being 21 and over, which was kind of silly. I thought it was kind of silly, kind of dumb, right? But that prevented a few players not being able to play. And then it being free was also sort of a deterrent, right? Like, it being like 10-20 bucks for entry probably would have been better, right? Because those packs that you just show up and immediately sell for like $500 to $700 easily, and a $30 entry fee could help, where basically that's gonna make sure that the 100 people who did sign up online just don't flake out at the end of the day, right? I think it probably would have been a little bit better if there's more people on the wait list, or at least attending. But there's a lot of different factors, right? Like, just to be serious, just to be real, and to be transparent, like, we're going against the most, like, the hottest TCG outside of the big three, right? With One Piece, and the format itself isn't the most fun. It isn't the most versatile. Even though, like, the results, which I'll talk about in a second, was a little, I wouldn't say like the opposite of what people were thinking, but obviously we had a lot of good competitors in our top four. They literally showed us that, hey, just put the time in, play a different deck, and you can beat the boogeyman, which is Crimson. Anyway, so day one was LCQ. Well, day one for me was rehearsal. We spent like 12 hours, 13 hours at the venue rehearsing for a good amount of that, and going through positioning, scripting, introductions, who's gonna go where the players are gonna go, where are we gonna go, who's gonna switch off. Me and Hayden were in the backstage, where basically we were controlling all of the life, the text, some of the overlays, and who's the active player and where the cameras are going for that, and as well as the cards pop it in and out. So if you saw that on the stream, that was us. I don't know if I could say that. Well, who cares? I don't think like it's just you guys. Like, I really don't care. Anyway, yeah, so shout out to Hayden for being there, and as well as just supporting all throughout the way. And then Giancarlo did really great. I know that we were feeling it as far as the crimson mirrors, and it, like, dude, like, it can get boring sometimes. So it was just like hard just to keep everything up and just be there. Not to mention Zap was like insanely sick throughout the weekend. So if you saw his face or any of his facial expressions, it was tough, man. It was a tough one. So I kind of feel sorry for him, but he really pulled it through, and a lot of the times he had like spurts of like really good time, or really a lot of goodness, a lot of good spurts of goodness. And then like George like held it down as an MC, just like, dude, the dude was yelling. I was afraid. I kept telling him I was afraid that he was gonna like lose his voice, because throughout the rehearsal, throughout the LCQ, he was just yelling like just out there, man. This is like too much energy, but it worked out. And honestly, we were pretty much competing between fighters and as well as legends, like their announcers. I think legends were like, I don't know what was going on in legends. Like every time I go over there, it was like, it was just like, didn't feel that great, but I could be wrong, right? The fighters announcer, I forget her name, but she did really well. She did awesome as an MC. And then the casters were cool too. I think they were a little nonchalant. I thought we were a little nonchalant, but I think we were like chess commentators compared to them sometimes. But it was cool because like during the top four and as well as the finals, like we were just like, it was a big focus on like just having fun and just making sure that as many eyes as we can on this game to basically just be aware of what's going on at a high level, and as well as just have fun and be excited. Because like if we're not excited and not like showing that we're having fun and we're super excited about the lore and as well as the basically everything about it, like where like Wang versus Duval, like him winning that, especially with Beerus of all decks against Crimson, which is supposedly the biggest deck, and him being a two-time national champion as well as worlds, and him beating in the first round of elimination last year. Like that was big. Like that is just such a cool storyline, and like Wong being like the kryptonite to everyone's best player in the game, Duval. Like there's no question Duval is the best player in the game, and as well as like other card games. Like he's even dominating One Piece. He's dominated My Hero a little bit too, right? So like it's just crazy. It's just absolutely crazy, and just stuff like that, and as well as the the other narrative of NA players being knocked out of the top 8. Like the first chance, like we had 4 chances, bro. Like we just blew all of them. And that's not to say that like every single player, the NA player was amazing. Like dude, Justin Rios, absolute insane assassin with the dead face every single time, which he probably doesn't even like care. Like honestly, I don't talk to him very much, so I can't say. But every time I see him, like that's a stone face assassin right there. Marcus Consarsi, obviously, squeezing into top 8, doing so well in all these other regionals and being super consistent and just overall really nice guy. I have obviously Andrew Duval. I already talked about him, and our very own Australian Robert Reedsy. So that was just an ongoing meme throughout the entire weekend. It was just so funny. Every time that we had to announce him from being Oceania, or from being from Oceania, I guess, like being the champion Oceania, it was just very interesting. And yeah, dude, like shout out to all of our international players, from Oliver to Wong to Antoine, and as well as our winner Philip. And what's interesting is that like, it's only bits and pieces of these guys, right, that I ever get to interact with, which is kind of the beauty of the Worlds event, where all these people, and like even other people from other places, shout out to Scott Sedman and others who came down from the UK, EU, Italy, a lot of other different places, even South America, right? Like it's crazy. but like bits and pieces, like from Wong's always in my YouTube comments. Like I don't know if you guys ever see him. He's always in my YouTube comments. Like years ago, it feels like he also came into my Discord, and he's just started playing in our circuits. And the dude was always so good. So I can't ever fault him for getting top 4 and as well as being Duval. And then haven't really got a chance to speak to Antoine and Philip, but I did speak to Philip prior to his matches, and he did tell me about the Universe 7 reason. And I told him straight up, I was like, dude, like I'm gonna go crazy if you play that. And he played it twice. He played it twice to win the match for him. And it was the tech. It was the tech against Crimson. It's just like he set it up so perfectly throughout the matches, and it was just so cool. And I'm just so excited for that. Like it sucks for Oliver. Shout out to Big O, right? I remember him, you know, doing really well with Bojack, and then finding out he won his nationals. That was sick, man. Like I think he has a really good future ahead of him. If he just refocuses and just gets right back into it, I think he'll be perfectly fine. But second is crazy. Like he also almost turned that around, where he forgot to charge, but like throughout that first part of that game, I think he almost got that. Like if the circumstances were correct and were there, he would have had that match. Not to mention, or not to, you know, fault or take away from Philip, but like I think he would have had that. And as a Gamma player, to him and watching him, like like he made really good decisions throughout the entire match, or both matches, and he got really far, you know, with this. And yeah, it was really fun to watch, really cool to see, really awesome to cast and commentate. And not to mention that we had the Budokai announcement. The Budokai announcement was nuts, man. I didn't see, like, if I can put the footage here, I will. Like if you see the people who were in the crowd just like jumping and just like going crazy, it was nuts, man. It was just so cool. It was just so cool to see. We didn't expect it, even during rehearsal. I'll tell you straight up, we didn't see any of the videos, right? We didn't see any of that stuff. And to see it live and to be with everybody to react to it, that was sick. That was just absolutely awesome. Can't wait to play it. Same thing for the digital client. We knew the digital client was coming. We knew we were gonna get some more information at Worlds, Battle Hour, whatever, and didn't let down. Like it looks like a beautiful game. And that's gonna be a completely different video. So this is probably gonna be the second part of this video, just to talk about the online client in my wish list too. And because I gotta break everything down. I really want to talk through it, and I want to see everyone's opinion about it too. What else? And shout out to that performance was nuts too. Like he really just gave it all. Like I feel bad, like straight up feel bad for people who didn't come, because that was a free concert. He came all the way down from Japan. He is 62 years old. He is going at it at these legendary like Dragon Ball songs that like Headshot. As soon as he did Headshot, I was like just singing along and then like bouncing around. I was almost late to get on the final stage because I was just having so much fun on that. It was just so crazy, dude. Like it's I'll show you the shot here. Hopefully I'll remember to edit it in, but that was like my favorite shot. Like he was so catered to the audience too, and he was just having fun, man. Like it was sick. I don't think they can top that later on, unless they do like an actual performance. Obviously, like he probably said yes to this because he's such a big fan about Dragon Ball, and like obviously like probably a big part of his, I don't know his career, but probably a big part of his success was the fact that, you know, the Dragon Ball songs were there too. But yeah, overall just super cool. And, you know, we got to spend some time with a lot of different people, and to talk about a lot of different things. And you know, I'm excited for the future for sure. But I think I think what we need are, you know, a lot of more exciting tournaments coming up as far as regionals. I think we have the Zenkai tournament, or one of the online tournaments coming up right now, or this next week I should say. And it's already almost like halfway through March, and before we know it, we're gonna be in summer. Before we know it, it's gonna be Gen Con. Before we know it, it's gonna be Nationals again. So it's moving pretty quickly and pretty fast, and I think with the digital client, it's going to be really cool. I have no idea when it's going to be released. Probably sometime end of summer, if I had to take a guess. But like I said, I'm going to make a whole different video for that. So again, shout out to everyone. Thank you for letting me ramble on. If you did watch throughout the entire video, I can't really think about anything else without like giving away too much. Overall, like if I said hi to you, if I said what's up, and if I was just walking around and stuff like that, I appreciate you coming up to me, and just let me know. If you did go, let me know in the comments. If you didn't go, tell me why not. Is it the game? Is it because you couldn't travel? Is it because you couldn't get time off work? What was it? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you the next one.